everybody, thanks for joining Level M. We have a batch review today. We're talking about Matchbox Mix number 5. This is the E-case. However, we need to start off with a couple of mentions. So if you guys have been watching all these batch reviews, a couple of things to clean up. This particular one, the 2022 Renault Megane, this is number 103 of 125. This was in some D cases, not all D cases, and we did unbox the E case. It is not in the E case. So for some reason, this model was very, very spotty. So did have to go to the secondary market to get this one. But this one was supposed to be included in the D case. So just want to point that out. So we will start this off to keep it complete. There is our Renault Megane. Looks good in white. I think white's a very, very good fit for this model. Deets on the back, prints look very, very good. The kind of dark chrome D10 wheels are a nice addition. And then there is the prints on the front. This one actually has pretty good prints. I'm pretty impressed. Quality on this particular one is pretty nice. And of course, just a little bit of white print for the over the windows kind of roof line there. So base deets right there. Nothing particularly fancy. But do want to throw that in there because that is part of the mix number 4, which was, of course, the D case. Additionally, we have a couple other things right here. This is your Chevy C10, your 68 Chevy T10. This was Target exclusive, obviously. It's a red edition. This was included in the B case. So B case for 2025. It's taken me a while to get my hands on this, but we'll go ahead and take a look at this now since it's part of a previous batch that I did not have. 6 of 6 is what the number is, although this was the very first red edition to release for the year. So there is our C10. Looks pretty good. Details on the side. Does have those disc hub wheels just with the chrome outline ring on it. Full prints on the front look good. Nice and crisp. I do like the red Chevy symbol. I think that's kind of a cool little touch. Pretty straightforward other than that. No prints in the back, unfortunately. So that is definitely unfortunate. The debut, actually the first 2 that we've seen of this casting in baby blue and gold have both had front and rear tampos, but no side tampos. So this is now a side tampo. So we'll put this kind of down in the corner since that's just a supplemental item. But I got one more supplemental item, and this one's actually a little bit more exciting, obviously. This is the second red edition for 2025. This was included in the D case, which was mix number 4 for Target. Target got it in the mix number 4. So Target is really, really hard to get red edition. So I did have to go to the secondary market to get this one. 3 of 6 so that we can get ourselves caught back up with red editions for the year. Although this is not included in this batch, it is part of this year's release and did not have my hands on it until now. This one is extremely nice. Has prints all the way around. Full front deets. Full deets around the back. Looks good. So it says ROT GT3, ROT GT3. Looks good. Wing looks good. Taillights look pretty good. A couple of white stripes on the top. I'm digging it. The white D10s look very, very good. This one is a very, very good red edition for sure. Nice to see we get prints all the way around. So technically we get an extra pass on that one. So we sacrifice for the Chevy, but we make it up for in the GT3, which is very, very nice. Now let's move on to mix number 5, the E case. First one we're going to take a look at right here, 81 of 125. This is your Morgan Plus 4. When I originally cracked open the E case, I mentioned this was a new casting. It is not. It was a new casting last year, but it's not a new casting this year. Last year in kind of a champagne color. This one looks pretty good. All the ones that I've found so far have been right-hand drive, so there's no interior variation that I am aware of. Deets in the back look pretty good. It says plus 4 right there above the right side tail light. Looks pretty good. Morgan on the plate. Uses the tri-spokes, the knockoffs, and then full prints on the front. Morgan number 4, prints look good. Headlights look very, very good. Blue color is very nice. There is the base deets. They do not, they don't date these models anymore, so they don't date the batches anymore, unfortunately. All right, moving on to brand new casting, 13 of 125. Brand spanking new for 2025, your Blaze Buster 3. I believe we got the Blaze Buster 2 last year. As a new casting. This one, when I did the case unboxing, I was not too impressed. It's not any more impressive to be out of the package. Now, the problem that I have with some of these is I like the fact that it does have a moving feature. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have something. It doesn't rotate or anything on there. It is fixed, just a ladder. The problem is that the window piece is the mount for all this stuff. So in order to get the window and the light brake, you have to sacrifice all this, which is unfortunate. It would have been super easy just to make that part of the casting, or maybe even part of the base, just to make that a good color break. So just not a very good design on that aspect. Details on the side, it's pretty straightforward. It says something there on the back that's probably something related to UK or something like that. The deco looks like it might be licensed or maybe very heavily themed towards a real license, but it's not that great. Taking a look at our man number right there, 1521 is the brand new man number for your Blaze Buster 3. You can see the Blaze Buster is trademarked. The 3 is not necessarily part of that trademark. Not a very good casting. Not a very good casting. I'm not opposed to generic fire trucks. I think we don't necessarily need licensed ones. I'm just opposed to something like that. All right, next one up, 28 of 125, 1960 Chevy El Camino. Looking very good. Card art looks great. Great. I love the card art this year. 2025 card arts are good. Good. So we'll get our El Camino popped out of here. There is the El Camino right there in kind of a canary yellow. It's more of a pastel yellow. It's kind of an interesting color. It is gloss though. It does have a nice gloss finish. A little bit of silver print on the side. Uses the disc hub wheels, which is pretty nice. Taillights done up. That is very, very nice. Prints in the back look pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing on the front, but that's okay. They have a lot of details embossed on the base. And of course the base is that weird kind of brownish kind of color that they always use for fake chrome. Not really sure why they have to use that particular color. Just make it a gray base, you know, but it's fine. And of course part of the interior is of course part of the bed. But I do like this casting. I've liked this casting from the beginning. I think we've gotten 2 versions of that so far. I think that's our 3rd version. So that one looks pretty decent. All right, brand spanking new for 2025. Another brand new casting in the mix. 115 of 125. The Citroen 2CV. There is only one of these in the batch, unfortunately. However, this does carry over to the F case. So if you guys watch the channel, I have already cracked the F case as of the time of this video. So you can see what's coming up in the next batch. Details on the back look very, very good. Printed up. 2CV 6602. And then it does say Citroen on one side and 2CV on the other in super small print, but it is perfectly legible. Disc hub wheels on there look very, very good. All these deets are very, very nice. I like the fit and finish of everything. Chrome base is pretty nice. Speaking of the base, there is your man number 1503 for your brand spanking new man number. Still has 2024 copyright on there. It tells you this casting's been in production or in process for a while, and it's relatively small. You know, it's not big. So I think this one's relatively well sized with the similar era of cars that it's kind of put in there with. Of course, the covered up rear light or rear wheels are pretty nice as well. All right, moving on to the next one. 79 of 125 Mazda AutoZam AZ1 in yellow. We've seen red and blue. Now we have yellow. I think there was also a white one in the 5-pack. There was a Japan 5-pack this year. So we get 2 colors for the AutoZam this year. It is all right-hand drive. All of them are right-hand drive, and that's perfectly fine. Lensed headlights. Of course, the headlights are perfect to be doing lensed headlights. Your AutoZam logo right there on the front looks good. Uses the small 6 spokes, which is a very nice fit and finish. A little bit of side marker light right there in orange, and then full tail light prints look good. Pretty straightforward. I mean, technically we get an extra pass, even though there's very little print. We do get those little side markered lights, which is not bad. Which is not bad. And then there is your base deets, 1365 for our existing AutoZam, which is a much brighter yellow than that Citroen is by a long shot. All right, moving on to some electric love. Tesla Model 3, 04 of 125. I don't know why they don't just say number 4. 04 of 125. Tesla Model 3 in the prototypical maroon Tesla color. So it was pretty obvious that this color would be coming sooner than later for the the Tesla Model 3. I do believe this was a new casting last year, I believe. Take a look at the base. Yeah, I think it was a new casting last year. 1448 is the man number. Now, I can tell you this metallic kind of candy red that they use, the metallic bits in there never sit flush. So you can see a bunch of just blemishes and a bunch of just inconsistent mixture in the paint on the side, which is a very common problem with this particular color. Tesla on the plates, which is very common. Prints on the front, prints on the back, says dual motor. Uses the small 6 spokes in, kind of black chrome. More of that inconsistent paint on the doors, which is just a bummer. Just a bummer. Full print on the front, look good though. And then of course your full glass roof, which is easier for Matchbox to do because of course that's less metal they have to worry about. So we'll put that guy in there. I do like the color. It's just Matchbox can't get it together with their mixing of that particular color. All right, brand spanking new casting. Yes, another brand spanking new casting. 89 of 125. Yes, a boat. Coast to coast. A boat in the Matchbox range. Not only just a boat, but a brand new casting for a boat. The Matchbox team did tell us that this was going to happen this year, that we were going to start seeing a lot more than just regular cars. It's going to be more of a diverse line. There is the base deets right there. Your new man number is 1517. That's the brand new man number. Little details for the 3 engines back there. Just uses small little wheels as you'd expect. All the black hull is metal. And then, of course, all the top is plastic. I think this particular boat looks good. It looks like a yacht. Looks like a small, like a private yacht. Just a real small one. It looks good. Looks very realistic. I like the details on it. It's not too shabby. A little bit of details in the back for like flippers and stuff like that, I think. This is a pretty good model. It's a pretty decent one. There's a bird on the side right there, and then of course there's your boat numbers on there, coast to coast. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's okay. I think this particular one works in the range. I'm not opposed to this kind of stuff. I think that's fine. That one's not so much. All right, next one up, Radical Motorsports, 71 of 125. Our second color for the Radical SR3XXR. This one in kind of the opposite colors of what it debuted last year. Debuted with black with a red stripe. Now we have red with black stripe, which is cool. Hopefully there are unlimited versions and colors of this that we can get. Hopefully we're not limited to blacks and reds and stuff like that, because that would be a bummer. So details on the front here look pretty good. Straightforward prints. There is your Radical logo. Headlights look good. The black striping right there is matte finished. And of course the black for the bars is gloss. So they put a little bit of time into it. Small 6 spokes looks good. A little bit of print on the back looks very, very nice. I don't know if we got that print on the first version, but that looks pretty good. And of course, those are the little taillights between those 2 swatches of black, which is, kind of like carbon fiber. It's kind of like the diffuser area in the back. And then, of course, Radical across the wing. So this one actually gets extra print, like 1 extra pass of print, which is very, very nice. And there's base deets, nothing particularly fancy. 1439 is the man number. We saw that casting last year. All right, very last one in this particular mix. Very last one for mix number 5, EK. 64 of 125, the Porsche MinS in just this ridiculously cool blue. Look at the card art. The card art looks so good. This one is a very, very cool color. Very, very cool version of the Macon. Looks very, very good. Or Macan, however you want to pronounce it. Uses the 5 spokes in gunmetal. I like it. The blue is just brilliant. It's such a good blue. Details on the base, or details on the back, I should say. Sorry about that. Taillights put it up pretty good. I don't like the fact that those 4-point lights, which I think are supposed to be the reverse lights potentially, or maybe the turn signals, but they just left them open so they're blue. I don't like that. I think they should have put some kind of color in there. But other than that, the print on the back, Porsche MinS, and then there is your deets on the front. Looks good. And there's your Porsche symbol, which is pretty legible and pretty center printed. Looks nice. Nothing particular with the base deets. One quick little quirk about this casting. This casting debuted as a Matchbox Super Chase for its very, very first version. Now we've seen a few versions in the mainline. So there you go. That wraps up mix number 5. That is the E-Case for 2025. There are 9 models in the E-Case. This model could potentially be in an E-Case if you find one. It was definitely popping up in the D-Case. So if you are completing the year, you will definitely make sure you need to hunt that one down. And we've gotten caught back up with the 2 red editions from the B-Case and the D-Case. So we are good to go moving forward. So drop a comment, let me know what you think about that batch. And let me know what you think about trying to catch up on stuff instead of just leaving it out. I'm going to do that for this year and just make sure that we can stay caught up on our batch reviews. So thanks a lot. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Catch you on the next review. Peace.